Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your guy DJ Playboy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's go. On this episode, we're going to talk about your guy Morant flashing a gun on Instagram Live for the second time. Also, we're going to talk about Becky Hammon getting suspended for unfair workplace practices. AI CEO Sam Altman told Congress all the dangers of AI and why we need some legislation. And a student gets suspended for recording her teacher using the N-word. Where they do that at? Perfect Talk Podcast. What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast, man. And I'm riding solo dolo today. So happy to be back with y'all, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all like family. Shout out to everybody out there rocking on YouTube. Shout out to everybody out there listening to, whatever podcast, digital streaming platform y'all like rocking with. You know what I mean? I feel the love, and I appreciate y'all being here with me, man. But how y'all, man? I got a birthday coming up, man. Your boy, believe it or not, turning 39 in a few days, and I'm feeling it right now. Yo, I got an ankle injury that I don't even know where it came from. I'm like, what I do? How I get this? You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea. But that's. I mean, I know y'all see the memes. I know y'all hear the comedians. Like, that is what getting older is all about. You know what I mean? I'm blessed to be here. I feel happy, man. I feel like I was when I was 22 years old, you know what I mean? I still got the energy of a 22-year-old, except for my bedtime's a lot earlier. Other than that, you know what I mean? I'll be rocking out. Shout out to my guy DJ Show. He had me out on some late night not too long ago. It was good times, man. Let me see, what else? It was good seeing my guy, you know what I mean? Not to move on from now too quick. It was good seeing my guy DJ Show. We haven't been out in a while, so it was good times hanging out, good time catching up. What else was I up to? Oh yeah. My daughter had a school dance, and it was one of them school dances where they're like, this ain't no drop off event. You know what I mean? If you coming with your kid, you staying with your kid. And but I mean, it makes sense because of the age that they are. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to school dances at all until I was in like junior high school. So the fact that they even really haven't one is like surprising, but even more so, it's like, I don't really want to leave her there. You know what I mean? It's like a security thing anyway. So it was cool. It was a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Because shout out to the DJ, my guy DJ Ketchup. He held it down. He definitely great DJ in general, but definitely knows how to make the kids have a great time. And he was rocking. I got lucky. I found another dad there that I knew. Shout out my guy Ed from the barbershop. So we was kicking it the whole time. So the 2 hours went by fast, and my daughter had a great time. It's funny seeing these kids get into it. I've had this one, maybe two or three songs stuck in my head. I know definitely one of them Lady Gaga songs was stuck in my head. One of them NBA Youngboy songs just stuck in my head. You know what I mean? Like, he was playing all the young kid music, and they was eating it up. They was getting sturdy to all of that. So shout out to the DJ Cash Up. Shout out to my daughter having a great time at her school. You know what I mean? And she said DJ Ketchup held it down too. So shout out to everybody that was in there, had a great time, man. Let's get right into it. It's time for your boy Plicca and his Spotlight Story. In case you don't know, it's not always the biggest news story this week, but something that I feel like we need to shine a light on. And this one, you may have heard about it, maybe not, was about a teacher who used the N-word in class. White people. I know it's hard to look at society and be like, why are my black counterparts or co-workers, or in this scenario students, using this N-word pretty willy-nilly? You know what I mean? Using it pretty freely. And I feel like I might lose my job over it. I feel like I might get in trouble over it. I feel like I might get in trouble at work, lose a couple days pay over it. It can't be. It can, you know what I mean? And I think some white people out there, I'm gonna defy it. I have to know for myself. I have to see it. We see it every day on Twitter. You know what I mean? Sometimes it ends with an ass whooping. Sometimes it ends with you losing your job. But you see it every day. A white person's like, nah, I should be able to use it the same way. And I mean, that's up for debate. I'm not, you know what I mean? I if it was up to me, nobody would use it, to be honest with you. But that society is what it is. And a teacher trying to use it in the context of, like, even in discussion of the word, right, the N-word, still can't use the word. You know what I mean? I think I told a story in this podcast before where I had a supervisor that broke up a dispute between two of my coworkers. And one of the coworkers, one was I believe Hispanic, the other one was black. You know, the African American one was mad that he was called the N word, and upon resolving the issue, so to speak, and telling the story to other people, this supervisor, this white supervisor, felt like he's gonna say the word, not use the term the N word, which would have got the same message across. He was gonna say the word, and it's just like, nah, fam, that's not cool. That is probably in I would imagine in his life and in other white individuals' life, maybe they use that word pretty freely when their supervisors aren't around, when there aren't any other black people around, but keep that shit at the crib. Because this particular high school teacher thought it was cool to just start this discussion. I guess even before the recording started playing, used the word several times. A teacher, what's her name? I want to make sure I get her name right. Mary Walton. She's a sophomore at the school. She took the video of her geometry teacher. The video starts with him interrupting, or I guess he was in the middle of a conversation where he interrupted two students and asked about why he could not use a specific racial slur when people of color could do so without causing offense to each other. As a part of the video, one of the students like, if you keep using the word, you might lose your job. I'm not threatening you. I'm just saying it as pretty much as a statement of fact. And the teacher persisted. This young lady recorded him, and took it to whoever needed to know about it. Teacher eventually decided that he was, I believe he resigned, if I'm not mistaken. But he was going to be let go. You know what I mean? The high school notified students and parents that the teacher wasn't there anymore. However, young lady Mary Walton was suspended for 3 days after that. And the ruling behind it was basically you're not allowed to be using cameras in school. Like the student handbook specifies that those who inappropriately use an electric device like a phone in class for recording or publishing images of staff, and I'm imagining other students as well because those would be minors. You get in trouble, and that penalty is a 3-day suspension. And I think why that rule is so tricky is now you put a student in a place where them recording something might possibly save somebody's life, right? Them recording something might be the difference between a school shooting happening or, people dying. And now he has to have a thought. He has to make a life decision of, should I record this and hope that they don't have this penalty against me? Should I record this dangerous individual and hope that they let it slide? Or am I going to have to face a 3-day suspension after that anyway, right? But you see injustices. You see a racial injustice. Now it's your word against his if you don't have a recording. So now a student is going to be like, damn, just for me to not be called, just for me to not have to hear the N word from a white individual in class, I got to get a 3-day suspension just to be able to prove that it happened. Like, so it's tricky. And I get rules are rules. These are minors. I wouldn't want someone to take a video of my kid and then do something crazy with it. So I get why the rules are in place. But there's a letter of the law, and then there's the law and the interpretation of the law, and I mean it could be on a basis, right, of individual basis of what every case that comes along. This particular case, I probably would have let the 3-day suspension go because you can get into the debate of whether the teacher should have used the word or not, whether it's unfair, why he can't use the word. But fam, you could have had the same debate without using the word. Like, we're all smart enough to know that. So you wanted to get something off. You thought this was an opportunity for you to get the word. You wanted to show maybe how silly it is that you can't use the word even though you just had to hear it 2 seconds ago. But now you don't work there anymore. And I mean, that's just have to be how you ride with it, how you take it. I do think Mary is taking legal action. Seems like she has a lawyer. They want the suspension expunged from her record. And it makes sense. You know what I mean? I totally understand why. I get why it might not happen because the law is already there, but they do need to have a conversation probably with the kids because, like I brought up earlier, you don't want a dangerous situation to be avoided because somebody has to worry about a stupid ass 3-day suspension. You know what I mean? But hopefully Mary's able to get through that. Hopefully you teachers could use the N-word when you go to the bar later. Nobody cares. You ain't got to do everything at work. You know what I mean? Like, land of the free, home of the brave. All right, take that free shit somewhere else or don't work here, bro. Because, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just do any old thing in any old place. Like, that shit don't rock. It's, you go on your podcast. Make a fucking podcast, dog. Don't teach. Like, decide what you want to do. But, like, you could get your point off and get everything that you got to get off without having to use the N-word in the classroom. Like, that's silly. And yeah, and like I said earlier, I wish nobody used it. I wish, and I use it. I've used it on this podcast before, but you know what I mean? I don't feel like it's something necessary. I don't feel like it's something, and also I know when to use it and when not to use it. I know when it could come back to get me in trouble, and you know what I mean, for the most part. And I know, this probably ain't the, this is the comfortable place. I'm in the trust tree. And not every place is a trust tree. So, like, take that as a lesson, y'all. But let's get right into it, man. That favorite segment, Have You Heard? I hear headlines, I bring them to the table, and I'll let y'all know. I ask, have you heard? I know y'all probably heard about this one, man. Your boy, Ja Morant, man. Last couple of episodes, we was talking about his teammate or former teammate, Dylan Brooks. Now, Memphis Grizzlies shooting guard, I want to say. Yeah, I believe so. Ja Morant, 2 months ago, was seen in the strip club, Instagram Live. What he do? Hold up his gun. Like, just like this, too. So the camera can see it, so everybody can see it. Yo, I'm in here with the burner. Got in a little bit of trouble. Had to put out some bullshit apologies. Did what he had to do. Fast forward 2 months. Does it again. I mean, at least this time it wasn't on his own Instagram, but his friend, they in the car vibing, NBA YoungBoy, whatever that young boy just saying in them songs. He got pulled out again. Not only he got to pull it out again, because I guess the song don't sound as good unless your gun is out. His mans knows he does it and puts him on camera. Like, nigga, fuck your couch. Nigga, fuck your contract. Like, come on, fam. Come on. What is it for internet clout? Memphis Grizzlies had to suspend him from all team activities. Second time in 2 months, man. Dancing to some, I think the songs, let's give my man NBA YoungBoy some props though, at least, you know what I mean? 1.5 is the song according to this article I'm reading right here. So I heard that YoungBoy album was fire. I've heard a couple tracks off it, you know what I mean? I don't understand what he's saying a lot of the time, but the beats is knocking. The beats is knocking, and when I do catch what he's saying, you know what I mean, it is fire. I know it's an old YoungBoy song, but Casey Talk, that's my jam right there. That's my joint. You know what I mean? Showing my 39 years old. That's the joint. That's the jam. Ja Morant, he is in a jam right now, though, man. Like, because the NBA now they got to make an example out of him. Now they got to do something silly, and it's like, bro, for what? The shit ain't cool. The shit ain't hold up the gun fingers if that's what you gotta do. Like, and also, why, like, what culture is that? Like, where did you see that to be cool? You know what I'm saying? Like, to pull out your gun on Instagram. Like, where does that get props? Where do people think that's tough? I guess what I'm really asking is where they do that at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not gonna say I crucify Ja Morant. I got lucky, man. Camera phones was out when I was young, dumb, 18, 19, 20, in college and all that. Social media just came out, but luckily I avoided the pitfalls. Like, it was a little too late. I was starting to get a little bit of common sense. Don't get it twisted. I was still doing young, dumb shit, but it just never really ended up to, make it to the World Wide Web. You can have your fun, young man. You can have your fun, young fella. The whole world don't gotta see it. Guess what? Whole world, you could disappear off of social media for the next year. Niggas know you got a $200 million contract. They already think you cool. Ain't no social media posts, ain't no outfit, ain't no song that you rocking to, ain't no clever tweet gonna lose the fans. They already on your dick. You good, bro. And you play basketball, man, nice. Cut that gangster shit out. It ain't doing nothing for you, bro. At all. Like, it's not, and I'm not here to say he's not from that life. I don't know what the fuck Ja Morant do and what he about. That shit don't gotta be on camera and on the internet, bro. That ain't gangster to nobody. To the thugs, to the nerds, to the suburbs, to the hood. Like, I don't think there's anybody like, yo, Ja real, that nigga pulling out guns with NBA YoungBoy, come on. Like, it sound nuts. You know what I mean? If y'all niggas about that life, be about that life. Bad boys move in silence with violence. You know what I'm talking about? What's the Weezy line? Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Yeah, Lil Wayne line. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Pay attention. You know what I mean? I don't know what they rapping about in these young boy songs nowadays, but I don't even think NBA. Well, the NBA young boy did get jammed up, but he out now. You don't see him doing dumb shit like that either. So you know what I mean? And he got real beef. So all you can do is learn. We gonna see what happened to Job. Of course, we gonna let y'all know right here on Perfect Talk. Next up, have you heard? The AI debate continues. This one caught my eye because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'm an audiobook head. You might heard me on here talking about, I just finished the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. Go check that out if you haven't. I'm reading another one right now. Some money book, being a badass at money, something like that. But it's you know what I mean, I like to do the self-help books, things that help you, you know, get up, get your shit together in life. And that's what I'm rocking with right now, you know what I mean? And sad to say, AI is taking away the jobs from the voice narrators. It's an article I read lately. The young lady who they spoke to in the article, she's been doing it for like 20 years. So, you know, normally, and this article was written in, you know, it's May right now, said she's really only booked up for like the next month in terms of bookings, where normally she'd be booked about 3 months, 4 months out. You know what I'm saying? And there's no denying it. Like, AI is taking their jobs, you know what I'm saying? Some people have decided that, you know, some AI companies, they still employ people. Like, they'll get an actual person to do the voice of it, and that person will make money every time that the AI version of their voice is used. But there's some other companies who's not, you know what I mean? And they creating a new voice, mixed in a whole bunch of other voices together, and that's the voice now reading the book, getting the pay for it. This comes on the heels of another story that I seen. Have you heard? Sam Altman, you know what I mean? He is the CEO of OpenAI. That's the company that dropped ChatGPT. He testified before Congress saying there's urgent need for regulation. You know what I mean? Like, if they will take all the jobs, they can be extremely dangerous. He was questioned by senators, just speaking on what he feels like, you know, AI could do. My worst fears is that the AI industry can cause significant harm to the world. Artificial intelligence needs rules and safeguards to address its immense promise and pitfalls. Doesn't really sound like he got into too many specifics about it, but it really seems like it's something that can be used to create false information, you know what I mean, to affect elections, you know what I mean, who knows what it could do. I who knows? Like, sky's literally the limit. It's not even who knows, it's how much time you got. Because you don't want the computers being smarter than us. And I know it sounds like some television Terminator 2 shit, but it really is where we at right now. Like, AI learns so fast. Like, this is the beta of the shit, and the shit is dope already. Only getting better by the day. Only taking in more information. Only taking everybody's data and learning from it. Your brain learns at a certain speed. That shit learning a million times faster. You know what I mean? All of it at once. All the information at once. So it's like, that shit can take a lot of jobs. You know what I mean? That shit could be doing something crazy. So now, as always, you know, we got stuff in technology comes out. People are scared of it. People are afraid of it. I think when the CEO of one of the biggest AI companies out is letting you know that, like, we gotta stop and listen. Like, Elon saying it seemed a little deceptive because, one, Elon just been moving funny since he caught Twitter. And you come to find out Elon got a little AI project he working on. So it seems like, well, what's your motivation behind this? But when the dude that's winning right now, because, you know, everybody talk about ChatGPT, whether they used it or not, if he coming out and saying we need some regulations, I think we might have to listen to that, man. Have you heard? Becky Hammon, WNBA's own Becky Hammon, was suspended for 2 games, I believe, because she kind of discriminated against one of the females on the team. De'Erica Hamby shared back in January that she was traumatized by the unprofessional and unethical way that she was treated following her announcements of her pregnancy and subsequent trade to the Los Angeles Sparks. She said she was falsely accused of signing an extension while knowingly pregnant. She didn't identify at the time who made her feel weird with their comments, but said that she was told that she was being traded because she wouldn't be ready, and we need bodies. This is weird because the WNBA is big on women's rights, right? Like we just seen them start a campaign to bring Brittany Griner back home. So you know what I mean. That's some NFL shit right there, right? Like if they know that you got some shit that they really can't use you for. I mean, I guess that's all sports. Like it's a business, right? And if they feel like you signed a contract extension knowing you was pregnant, you just wanted to get the bag and then not be there really to do it. And I don't think that's necessarily what I want to say sexist of them to do it like to be like, oh well, they're doing it to women, because Shaq got ridiculed when he decided and he said, I got hurt on company time, you know what I mean, and instead of getting the surgery over the summer so he could be back for the season, decided he was going to enjoy his summer and get surgery at the beginning of the next season, or at least late in the summer, so he wouldn't be available. And it's just like, he got ridiculed for that. He got criticized for that. You know what I'm saying? So you do need to be available, right? The best ability is availability. But it does come down to some funny, like, real laws, because women's jobs are supposed to be protected when they get pregnant, right? That's what maternity leave is all about. It's supposed to be, you shouldn't have to worry about losing your job. You shouldn't have to worry about that. Looks like in the wake of Becky Hammon's suspension, the WNBA, they're like having conversations with coaches and management about just sensitivity and why this was wrong, why this can't go on. She was, like I said, Becky Hammon was suspended 2 games. The Aces, they lose their first round draft picks. Workplace violations, man, will get you trouble. Now the reason why it's news is because Becky Hammon is really like the golden child in terms of on track to be the first female coach in the NBA. She's won in the summer league coaching men. She's been an assistant coach on the Spurs. She's really just getting that head coach experience. Eventually, someone is going to take a chance on her and give her that job. And it's rough for coaches, right? Like coaches, they are programmed to win. I don't think this is unique to Becky Hammon. I think this might be something that goes on a little bit more than we probably hear about, or WNBA doesn't garner that much interest. But a name like Becky Hammon, who is cross WNBA/NBA, it is going to get the headlines and it is going to get attention and it is going to point a light at this is probably going on. Like, you can't have a league here that's empowering women when they have to be afraid of natural things that women go through. You know what I mean? Like, you taking it back to the beginning of time of people being like, well, women shouldn't be working if they could get pregnant. And if it comes to show that the league that's supposed to be pushing women to the forefront is actually treating them just as bad as the patriarchy that they speak out against, it's going to look a little hypocritical. You know what I mean? But shout out to Becky Hammon. Shout out to the WNBA. I know the season just kicked off. I seen Brittany Griner's back. I seen Kamala Harris come through and show us some love. Give her, a little hug. So, you know what I mean? Welcome back. So, you know what I mean? We see what's going to happen with that, man. And real quick, too, shout out to Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart got a Sports Illustrated cover. If you haven't heard, you know what I mean? I believe she's like, how old is Martha Stewart? I got to know. I got to know. ChatGPT, how old is Martha Stewart? Let's see. 81 years old. Sports Illustrated cover. You know what I mean? So shout out to Martha Stewart, still doing it. Whatever you into, somebody's into that. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? But she's just showing that we can't keep putting these ageism and all that on women. You know what I mean? When beauty can defy all ages. So shout out to Martha. It's Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated could be reaching. You know what I mean? They've had transgender models in it before, and it could just be an attempt to look woke. But I really think they're into inclusion. I think they're into people of all sizes. It's not the stick figures. It's not the criticisms that they used to get back in the day. They really like, we trying to represent for everybody. Whatever you into, we got a little something of that in a swimsuit. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Martha, man. And That's another episode in the books, y'all. It's your guy DJ Playboy. You can catch me on Twitter at DJ Playboy. Follow me on Instagram at PLICCAPLAYBOY, PLICCAPLAYBOY. Also, follow Perfect Talk on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio. Follow my website. Go check out the website. I've been working hard on the website, man. www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast, my radio show, The Night Shift, coming back. Please believe me. And the radio show I do with my brother, DJ show called Money Talks Radio. Shout out my guy show. Every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast is also available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever your podcasts are found. That always takes my breath away because there's so many to name, and I'm trying to increase the list, so I gotta start doing my little in the gym so I can just get out all the digital streaming platforms for y'all. But go check it out wherever it's available. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a review. Algorithm loves that. Also, check us out on YouTube. Go follow us on YouTube at Perfect Talk Podcast. Holding it down. Leave a comment, leave a like, hit them notifications so you can know every time we drop a video, because we dropping them weekly for you, baby. Trying to even come out more than that. And we doing the shorts too, so make sure you get your notifications on so you can keep up with the squad. Subscribe to the team. Let me see. I told y'all I'm reading a new book. I did just finish the 4 Agreements. I think me and my guy Spec told y'all about that. Go check that out right now. And I just found out Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a 5th agreement, so I gotta go check that out. Yeah, I'm just holding it down for y'all. Go check out my First and 15 mix if you haven't already. This one, features my guy, the Notorious B.I.G. Brooklyn stand up. So go check that out right now. You can go to perfecttalkpodcast.com. You can go to Linktree /DJ Playboy. Go follow it. Go give it a like. Give it a listen. You know what I mean? Put it in your workout mix. You need it in your life, baby. That's been the terror since the public school era, baby. And we up out of here, man. What did we learn this episode? Do not flash your gun on Instagram. Martha Stewart can do anything at any age. You know what I mean? And AI might take all our jobs. Don't say the N-word at work. You know what I mean? And make sure you know the policies at your job or your school or wherever it is about recording, because they do be having that fine print in there. So make sure you protect your neck, man. And we up out of here, man. Catch y'all on the next one. Spread love is the Brooklyn way, baby. We up out of here. Peace.